My name is Michael Titus. I'm a colonel in the Vermont State Militia, and I'm a retired lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, and I'm the 55th Commandant of Cadets. So I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania, and not so different from Northfield or any small town in central Vermont. So I spent almost 22 years on active duty in the Army. I was commissioned through the early commissioning program at Valley Forge Military College when I got my associate's degree, and then I finished my bachelor's degree at a small state school in Pennsylvania called Kutztown University. During my time in the military, now I also served for 5 years in the National Guard and Reserves while I was going through college, for a total of almost 27 years of service to the military. During that time on active duty, I was all over the world. I was stationed in places like Germany, Hawaii. I deployed to Iraq once and Afghanistan twice. I was stationed at Fort Campbell, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, West Point, and a myriad of other smaller installations. My background is logistics. I was commissioned in the Logistics Corps, and I've held every major leadership position in logistics units, from platoon leader all the way up to battalion commander. Some of my special assignments throughout my time in the Army were after company command. I was selected to go to grad school and get a master's degree. I went to University of Kentucky and got a master's degree in communication, and then subsequently taught at West Point for 3 years. My wife is a Barre native, and both of her brothers and 2 of her cousins are Norwich grads. And from the very first time I came up here to visit family after we got married, there was a connection with Norwich. The family brought me over here, probably because of my military background. They wanted me to see what the university was like and experience it. And from the first time I set foot on the campus, I fell in love with it. I was getting ready to retire from the Army. I was looking for a place to start to grow some roots because, as you know, in almost 22 years, I moved 13 times. The other thing that drew me to Norwich was the people. As I interacted with faculty and staff here through the interview process, I found that everybody was happy to be here, genuinely happy about their job. They liked what they were doing. They felt like they were making a difference. And you can't put a price tag on that. Russ Holden, the previous commandant, did an outstanding job moving the Corps down the line towards the concept of honorable living and really building the foundation work for that type of philosophy. So I'm right on board with that philosophy as well. And I really see my role as really just keeping the ship pointed in the right direction and not steering too far off, because this place has been developing outstanding leaders for almost 200 years. So the system works. That's not to say that I don't have my own unique philosophy and approach. I deeply believe in the concept of servant leadership, that we develop our best leaders if we develop leaders who care for their subordinates and know how to identify their subordinates' weaknesses and train them to be better at those weaknesses. My job is to remove barriers and distractions so that the subordinates can do their job. So I interviewed with the President, I interviewed with General Vanacek, I interviewed with a bunch of different faculty from the academic side, the Commandant staff, members of the Commandant staff, and even students. What I took from that process was that Norwich cares about the input of everyone. And it was really, if you can get through that interview process, you can pretty much get through anything. I am deeply honored and humbled to have been selected for this position. I know that I owe it to the university and to the cadets to come in here every day and do the absolute best job I can do for them. I feel like I have the best job in the world, and the reason for that is because I get to mentor and develop and train the future generation of leaders for this country, and not just in the military. These guys are going to go off and do great things in business, industry, government, and to have a hand in developing that and being a part of it is just an awesome responsibility and an awesome opportunity.
You can't be in the Army forever, but you can be Norwich forever, and look at the kick.